English is not my first language, so please forgive any mistakes. Thank you. Episode 1, Lights Out. Samantha. I hate elevators. That's what I told myself right before stepping into one. I had no choice. My apartment was on the 24th floor. My heels were killing me, and my tote bag felt like a boulder strapped on my shoulder. The elevator was empty, cold, way too quiet. I pressed the button for 24. The door started to close, then a hand slid in. A man stepped inside. Tall, dark, sharp jawline, black jacket, eyes like they had seen too much. He didn't say a word, just leaned against the wall opposite me and looked down at his phone. I pretended to check my phone too, but I held him. His presence filled the space like heat of a storm. Then, 2 floors up, everything went black. Jungkook. Boom. Total blackout. Citywide, I know it was coming. I just didn't think she had standing in front of me when it happened. She froze, hand clenched to her back like it could save her life. I could see her face in the fat emergency light, big brown eyes, breath catching, a soft little gasp, like the air had disappeared. She was beautiful, too beautiful for me to focus. But this wasn't about me or her, not yet. I was here for something else. Still, I spoke before I could stop myself. You okay? Samantha. His voice surprised me. Deep, calm, a little raspy. I nodded. I think so. I could barely see him, but his shell looked carved, solid. Probably just a power cut, I said, trying to sound casual. This building's old. He chuckled just once, low. I know. Something about the way he said it made my stomach flip. Then the elevator jolt. Hurl. I yelped and grabbed the railing. My heart shot up into my throat. He moved closer just a little, like he was ready to catch me. Jungkook. She flinched like a rabbit, hands tied on the rod. I shouldn't have cared, but I did. It's okay, I said softer now. Elevator probably just locked in place. Great, she muttered. Trapped in a box with a stranger during a blackout, this is like my worst nightmare. She looked up at me. I didn't mean that you are the nightmare, she added quickly. Just the situation. I smiled, couldn't help it. I have been called worse. Samantha. His smile was unexpected and unfairly hard. I let out nervous laugh, brushing hair from my face. I'm Samantha. He hesitated a second too long before answering. Then he said, Jungkook. Just Jungkook. And the way he said it made it feel like a secret. Jungkook. Her name suited her, soft but strong. I didn't want to give her mine, but looked into those eyes. Hearing her say my name like that, I gave it anyway. Samantha, I repeated, to ground myself. You live here? Yeah, you? Just visiting. I said, lie. But she didn't need the truth right now. Samantha. I watched him in the dim red light, the way his shoulders straightened, the way he kept glancing at the tiny gap above the door like he was planning an escape route. Something about him didn't fit. He was too alert, too still. I cleared my throat. You military? He looked up at me, eyes narrowed just a little. No, he said too fast. Okay, I said, holding up my hands. Didn't mean to pray. He relaxed a little. Not praying, just observant. Then the light flickered. Just once, long enough for me to see his wrist. A tattoo. Barely there, but I saw it. A black number, 47. My heart skipped. That wasn't a normal tattoo. That was military intelligence. I don't know, but I know I wasn't imagining it. Jungkook. Damn it. She saw the ink. That was a mistake. She was sharp, smarter than she looked, and she already looked brilliant. I couldn't let her connect the dots. Not yet, because if she found out who I really was, she had run. And she might already be in danger. The blackout wasn't random, and neither was she. Samantha, I sat down on the floor, finally letting my bag slide off. Jungkook stayed standing, arm crossed. You are really calm, I said. He looked down at me. So, are you? I'm screaming on the inside. He gave me a small amused look. Me too. I don't know what it was about that moment, but it shifted something. Like the fear turned into curiosity, the tension turned into something warmer, closer, dangerously close. Jungle. She smiled up at me, wide, real. It caught me off guard, and I realized I liked the sound of her voice. I liked the way she spoke with her hands, like her thoughts couldn't sit still. I liked that I was stuck in a box with her, which was a problem because I wasn't supposed to feel anything. And yet, when I finally sat beside her, shoulders brushing, my heart beat louder than the silence. Episode 2, Static Between Us. Samantha. It had been 25 minutes and we were still trapped, still stuck in the elevator with nothing but dim red light, dead silence, and a man I couldn't stop looking at. My legs were starting to fall asleep, but my mind wide awake. I glanced at him, Jungkook, the mystery, with shadows in his eyes. He hadn't said much after I spotted a tattoo on his wrist, but the way he said, on alert, back straight, told me he wasn't just waiting, he was watching. I broke the silence. So, do you always make a woman sweat in the elevators, or am I special? Jungkook. She caught me off guard again. That smile, that sass, like the spark you don't see coming, but once it hit, it burns. I looked at her, raising an eyebrow. You think you are sweating because of me? She leaned in a slightly voiced playful. Maybe it's a blackout, or maybe it's the way you keep looking like you know something I don't. I snapped, but I couldn't deny it. I did know something she didn't, and she wouldn't like it. Samantha, he had this way of not answering that somehow said more than words. I sighed, letting my head rest against the wall behind me. This whole night is weird. The blackout, the elevator, you. He glanced at me. You think I caused the blackout? I blinked. I don't say that. But you are thinking it. I narrowed my eyes at him. Okay, Django, who are you? Django. That was the moment. The moment I should have lied. Said I was mechanic, a consultant, a tourist, but something about her made me want to say the truth. Even just a piece of it. So I said, I used to work for the people who knew how to turn off a city in seconds. Her eyes widened just a little, but she didn't move away. She didn't run. She whispered, Are you one of the bad guys? I looked straight at her. I don't know anymore. Samantha. My chest tightened, not out of fear, but something else, something heavier. There was pain in that answer, and pain doesn't lie. Whoever you used to be, I said softly, you are here now and you haven't hurt me. He looked like he didn't know what to do with that, so he didn't speak. But his hand moved slowly towards mine, and when our fingers touched, it was like static, warm, electric, dangerous. Jungkook, I shouldn't have touched her, not even her hand, because that touch, that single touch little of hers. Her skin was soft, her pulse quick. I could feel it, and suddenly I wasn't thinking about the missions or secrets or why I was there. I was thinking about the way her lips curved when she teased me, the way she held her breath when she looked to me too long, the way I wanted to taste her. I pulled back just barely, but she didn't let go. Samantha, you don't trust yourself, do you? I asked. His eyes were darker now, hooded. I don't trust what I might want, he added. My heart kicked. There was something so raw in that, so honest. I leaned a little closer. Maybe I wanted to. His jaw clenched, and when I thought he might close the space between us, boost. The emergency speakers crackled to life. We both jumped. Jungkook. A voice came through. garbled, broken. This is static, trying to restore. Stay calm. Rescue team soon, then silence. But I caught something else in the static. A voice I recognized. A code. Unit 47 alert. Target confirmed. My blood ran cold because the target was her. Samantha. He froze. Eyes looked towards entire body tense. Like someone had hit pause on his soul. Jungkook, I whispered. Nothing. I reached out, touched his arm. He looked down at me, and I saw it. Panic? Not for himself. For me? Jungkook. I should have warned her. I should have told her the truth right there, but I didn't. I looked into her eyes and kissed her instead, not gently, not sweetly, but like a man who knew everything could fall apart at any second and didn't want to waste another one. Samantha. His lips crashed into mine, hot, breathing, stealing, real. I melted. Every fear, every question, every doubt gone. Just heat, hands, heart, warm. And one impossible thought. What if this stranger is the only thing keeping me alive? Episode 3. More than a kiss. The kiss tasted like a fire and fear. Like we both knew this was a bad idea, but couldn't stop. Jungkook pulled back, breathless. His lips 4 inches from mine, and yet, suddenly, it felt like he was miles away. What just happened? I asked. He didn't answer. His eyes searched mine, not for connection, but for damage. Like he wasn't afraid I had break. I stuttered, heart pondering. Say something. His jaw tightened. Still silence. Jungkook. What do you say when a kiss feel like a promise? But the truth is a threat. I didn't mean to let it go that far, but being close to her made me forget the plan, forget the risk, forget that she was the reason I was sent here. I whispered, I shouldn't have done that. Her brows pinched, her flashed across her face. Why? She asked. Because on the mission? Damn, she was smarter than they give her credit for. I couldn't lie now. Samantha, he said nothing, but his silence screamed the truth louder than words ever could. I backed away, the kiss still burning on my lips. You knew me before this, I said. Before the blackout, before the elevator. He nodded once, just once, and it shuddered me. Jungkook, I didn't come here to hurt you, I said. Then why are you here? She asked. I hesitated. Because someone thinks you are dangerous, Samantha. Because you are on the list. Because your name showed up in the database that got people killed. Because I couldn't say any of that. Not without ruining everything. So instead, I whispered, because I had to know if the files were gone or if you were really worth saving. Samantha, I stared at him. That answer, it wasn't comforting, but it was real, and somehow that made it worse. You kissed me while deciding if I was a threat? I whispered, voice trembling. Jungkook looked trapped. I kissed you, he said slowly, because I didn't want to lose the chance to feel something real again. And just like that, I hated him, and I wanted him more than ever. Jungkook. Suddenly, the speaker above crackled. A voice. Unit in place. Targeted confirmed. Elevator salmon blocked. My blood ran cold. Samantha froze. Her voice was barely whispered. They are here for me? I grabbed her wrist. We need to get out. Now. But how? I pulled a device from my jacket. A black palm-sized cube. My emergency override. One blast, one exit. I looked at her, chest raising with adrenaline. We opened these doors. We ran together. She held my gaze and then she nodded. The kind of kiss, I said quietly, That makes you forget the lie, but remember the danger. Episode 4, The Escape. Jungkook. I slammed the override device into panel. Boom. A pulse of heat sparked. The elevator door screeched, groaned, and opened. My grip tightened around Samantha's hand. Stay low, I whispered. She didn't ask question, just followed. There were two men in the hallway. Black tactical gear, combs in their ears, guns drawn, but not raised. Yet. I know they were staying, knew what come next. I only had seconds. Samantha, I couldn't hear my heartbeat anymore. Everything outside that elevator was a blur, steel, wires and tension. Jungkook moved like he belonged in this world, silent, fast, focused. But I wasn't ready to run for my life. I was still stuck in the truth he had dropping on me like a grenade. He was here for me, but now he was running with me. Jingo, I dropped the first guy with a sweep of the leg. Samantha moved behind cover good. The second guy turned too late. My fist met his ribs. He grunted and stumbled, and I hit him again harder. Done. But it wasn't over. More were coming, and we weren't going to make it going through the main corridors. Samantha, we need another way out, I shouted, ducking as the bullet chipped the wall beside me. Junko grabbed my hand again, his eyes met mine, intense, full of things I still couldn't understand. There's a service stairwell, he said. We reached. If we reach the roof, I have an evac contact waiting. Who's the evac for? I asked. You or me? His jaw clenched. I wasn't sent to save you, he said softly. But somehow you are the only thing worth saving. Jungkook. We sprinted. One level, two. Every corner could mean death. Every shadow could hold betrayal. And still, her hand in mine felt stronger than the mission ever had. We reached the roof. Wind hit us like a slap. The city blew, still dark, still in blackout. And then, headlights. A helicopter, low, silent. I tapped my earpiece. Extraction now. Two assets. Copy. Came the voice. Rooftop secure. You are clear. But just I turned to help her onto the pad, a shot rang out. Samantha. I screamed before I felt it. My shoulder burned. Junko caught me before I hit the ground. Blood. Not much, but enough. I could see the panic in his eyes. The raw, messy fear of a man who wasn't supposed to feel anything. You are okay, he said quickly. You are okay. He pressed his hand over the wound. We are living now. Junko. I leapt her into the chopper, ignoring the protocol. You are not leaving her. I barked into the radio. The pilot didn't argue. I wrapped her in my arms. Tight. Too tight. And for the first time in this entire cursed assignment, I didn't care about the fallout. Didn't care about the agency. Didn't care about orders. I care about her. Samantha leaned her head against me, pain in her voice but softness in her eyes. Are we safe now? She whispered, and I don't lie. Not yet, I said, but I swear I'm not letting them to take you. Episode 5, The Druid Files. Samantha, we were holed up in a tiny safe house far from the city lights. Jungkook's laptop hummed on the table, a word of secret flashes across the screen. Tell me everything, I said, voice steady but curious. Jungkook hesitated, then nodded. He pulled up the files about me, old emails, encrypted messages, even a photo I didn't remember sending. They say you leaked information, he said. Something that could bring down powerful people. I shook my head. I don't remember anything like that. He looked at me hard. Someone wanted you gone. The truth hit me like a punch. Jungkook. Watching her face changes was like seeing the trust and fear wrestle inside. I'm sorry, I said quietly. You didn't deserve any of this. She looked away, the weight of it crushing. Why didn't you tell me sooner? She whispered. I took a step closer because I was torn away between my mission and this. My hand reached for hers. Samantha, his touch was electric. Not just because I was still healing from the blood, but because I wanted this. The danger, the secrets, None of it mattered. Just the way his eyes held mine. Jungkook, I said, voice low. If we survive this, I want to know you. Really know you. His breath hitched and then he pulled me close. Our lips met, slowly and hungry. The world fell away. Jungkook. Her skin against mine was a promise I didn't expect it to make. I kissed her like I was making up for every lie I had told. Every moment I had held back. This was real. And our hands roamed, the danger outside blurred. For once I was just a man, and she was the only woman I wanted. Samantha, we broke apart, breathless. Jungkook, I whispered, I'm scared. He cupped my face, me too. But in his eyes, I saw something fierce, something worth fighting for. We will face whatever's coming, he said, and I believed him. Jungkook. The phone buzzed an encrypted message. New orders, I said, heart sinking. But I crushed the phone in my hands. No more orders. I told her, only us. Episode 6, The Final Move. Samantha. The city was still dark beneath us. The blackout was holding, but I know it wouldn't last forever. Jungkook's hand was warm in mine, steady like the only solid thing in the world full of danger. We have to move fast, he said, eye sharp. But this time I wasn't just running for my life, I was running for us. We slipped through shadow streets, the cold air shocked against my skin. Every step felt like countdown. The agency's hunters were closed, but something inside me had changed. I wasn't afraid anymore. Jungkook pulled me into the narrow alley. Here, he whispered, we can catch our breath. Our faces were inches apart, the tension electric. I don't want to lose you, I said, voice trembling. He said, soft, real, you won't. Then the headlight flashed in the distance. Go! Jungkook hissed. We ran together, faster, harder. Behind a corner, a waiting car. Then driver nodded. Get in. Inside the warmth of the car felt like shield. Jungkook turned to me, eyes full of something I didn't expect. Hope? We are going to a place no one will find us, he said. I looked at him, the man who had risked everything to protect me, and I know I was exactly where I meant to be. The car stopped at a quiet lakeside cabin. No city noise, just water and stars. Jaguk took my hand and pulled me close. The world slowed. His lips found mine, tender but sure. Our kiss said everything words couldn't. The danger was still out there, but in that moment we had each other. Jungkook. Looking into her eyes, I finally understood what I have been fighting for. Not orders, not missions. Her. And I want ready to build something real. Samantha, later lying in these arms, I whispered, sometimes the darkest moment being the brightest new beginnings. He kissed my forehead, and for the first time in a long time, I believed it. Bonus episode The Cabin Night. Samantha, the fireplace crackled quietly. Outside, the night held its breath. Inside, so did I. Jungkook stood by the window in a soft grey t-shirt, staring out the lake like he was still waiting for something to go wrong. But we were safe now. We had made it. And in that stillness, I finally let myself feel everything. The fear, the ache, the heat that had built between us for the moment we got stuck in that elevator. He turned, his eyes meeting mine. Everything stopped. He walked towards me slowly, every step full of unspoken words. I have been trying to give you space, he said gently. But all I want is you. I swallowed, heart humming in my chest. You have me, I whispered. His hand touched my face, warm and steady. He leaned in slowly, as if asking for permission. I closed the distance, soft at first, then deeper, hungrier, like we had waited too long to breathe. Like we had waited too long to breathe. I let my finger traces the edge of his shirt, pulling it over his head. He held me out of mine, never once looking away. No rush, just us. The way his hand moved over my back, my waist, slow, reverent. made my skin burn in the best way. He kissed my shoulder, my neck, my collarbone. I wanted to remember this. He murmured, breath hot against my skin. So do I whispered. The blanket fell around us like a soft cocoon. Bare skin met skin. Every touch was gentle. Every kiss asked a question and answered it over and over. We weren't just making love, we were healing. Hours passed in the whispers and warmth. When we finally lay tangled together, the firelight dancing on the walls, I rested my head on his chest. I didn't know love could feel like this, I said. He kissed the top of my head. It wasn't love until you.